New Artist Spotlight Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome again to the New Artist Spotlight Podcast. It's Big OG, you know me, Origin Cross, joined today by...
I am Wilko Wilkes, and I'm delighted to be here again. And yeah, we're joined by a special guest today, the man, the myth, the legend, the Cerulean Chameleon. How you doing, man? Welcome to the show.
Yeah, fine, mate, fine. I'm just waiting on that. I was nerve-wracking. I felt like I was waiting for a job interview or something, just sat there for the last few minutes kind of thing. But I see I'm getting spoiled today as well. I've got both here rather than just yourself. So yeah, all good.
Yeah, it's good to have you on. I think the first question today has to be, how did you decide on an artist name with my favorite color?
It was a bit random. So ever since like school, I've always quite liked to rhyme words and stuff like that. And for quite some time, I was thinking, what am I going to call myself? What am I going to call myself? And then I was watching a game show with my girlfriend, and the word cerulean came up, and I'd never heard of it before. And I was like, what is that? And she's like, oh, it's like a shade of blue. And I was like, quite like that. And so Cerulean Chameleon just popped into my head kind of thing because it rhymed, and just because the way I kind of want to approach music and stuff is it's mainly kind of been dance stuff that I've done, but I want to get involved in kind of all genres if I possibly can kind of thing. So, and blue's my favourite colour as well. It's the colour of my football team, and I love the colour blue. So yeah, that was that.
I didn't know what that was either. Yeah, I had to Google Cerulean earlier on today to find out what that was.
Yeah, I think it throws a lot of people, to be fair. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good though. It rolls off the tongue. And is that Rangers, by the way, your favourite team? Or?
Oh, no. I'm from Dundee, and we've got two teams. I'm a Dundee fan. You've got Dundee and Dundee United. They're literally right across the road from one another. I don't know if you heard like the stadiums and stuff. So
you've got a five-sided stadium, or?
Well, ours is pretty old, to be fair. It's like kind of fallen to bits. There's a lot of talk about we moving and things like that, but I'm doing it again. I'm bringing it to football when it should be about music. All good, mate. All good.
Yeah. So tell us about yourself, man. I really enjoy your tunes, and it's interesting actually that you've just said that you're thinking about like doing lots of different styles, because I listened to your tunes earlier today, like your full catalogue, and I was thinking it's all quite a similar style. I can see you going places with that because it's quite focused. So I think if someone likes one of your songs, they might like a lot of your songs.
Yeah, that's the hope. I mean, I don't even know how I've always liked dance music, like, again, since I was young, sort of early 90s and stuff. I was into some mad stuff, like proper rave, kind of happy hardcore and things like that. And then it kind of changed as I got into like about 17, 18, I started getting right into Radiohead and that kind of stuff. But dance music, it just seems to be like kind of what I naturally can do. I don't know, each person, like obviously yourself, we're rapping and stuff like that, and it's really cool. I could never imagine myself doing it. I've tried it badly when I was young and stuff. But yeah, it just seems to be the one kind of area that I always fall into. I do have a track coming out in a few weeks' time that is completely different. So that'll kind of be my first kind of like toe in the water, so to speak, of like another genre kind of thing. But yeah, it's just that it's kind of what I hope. If someone listens to one track, then they might think, oh, I'll give another one a try. And then that's kind of what your dream is, I suppose, kind of thing. Yeah.
That's cool. I can't help but notice the background here. I see you got some instruments back there. And are those the Rockets as your studio monitors?
Yeah, the G5 Rockets KRK ones. Yeah, I just, because I got a white desk, I just had to get like those because they looked pretty cool. But I can't help myself. It's like ever since I've started, I'm kind of feeling the spiral. I always want to get something bigger and better. I can't stop just looking at new things, but I think they'll do for the foreseeable. And this room's quite small as well, so I can't really go any bigger than that kind of thing.
Nice. Yeah, I'm just admiring your setup. And those are some of the ones that when I was trying to get my studio set up, those are like ones that always seem to pop up. Everybody had those. Can you talk a little bit about your space and how that contributes to your creativity, and how you invest in that, and how that's affected the obviously like the quality of the product you produce and everything?
Yeah, so I think like a lot of people, like for years, I wanted to get just a keyboard, and I bought a Casio keyboard like in the first lockdown, and then I kind of started from there. But then I wanted to record stuff, so I'd started looking into, well, what do I need to do that? And I just had this really small desk. I bought like a little Focusrite audio interface. Still had my Casio keyboard that I was essentially using as a MIDI. Didn't have speakers, was using headphones. And then I decided I need to, because as I was progressing and learning and stuff, you obviously realise like I might need to kind of upgrade and stuff. So I got another audio interface. I bought like a Novation like MIDI controller, and then I got the Rockets, and I bought the desk and stuff that kind of pulls out for the for like the controller and stuff like that as well. And like I say, it just seems to be like this ongoing kind of thing where you're always looking like, not that that's too kind of pleasing for the money side of things, but you're obviously just looking to kind of get better and better. But the thing is, I've reached the stage now when I've realised it doesn't really matter if you have like thousands upon thousands of pounds worth of gear. You've got to obviously kind of perfect or try your best to get as good as you can with what you have. It's like all about obviously the mixing side of things and stuff, which is a real focus of mine just now, just mixing and mastering stuff, because that is like a compressor. I'm still like, how do I use a compressor properly kind of thing? It's just, it's like this ongoing learning, I suppose. And like you see everything you can see behind me now, that's kind of where I'm up at this stage anyway.
Love that, mate. Yeah, I've been on the same journey. It's enjoyable.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you later on, but I think it's a good time to ask you now. Like, kind of, where do you see this all going? Like, where do you see yourself in 5 years, in 10 years, in terms of music?
I just want to progress. I've kind of set myself kind of little goals, kind of like baby steps, so to speak. And I kind of thought I'd quite like to reach 1,000 followers on Instagram first. And I would love to get a track, unsuccessfully thus far, on BBC Introducing. That would kind of be like a little milestone for me. In 5 or 10 years' time, I suppose the dream would be, because obviously I've heard like previous guests talking about it and stuff, you try to like juggle full-time work with this, and sometimes it's quite overwhelming. It actually kind of feels like you've got 2 jobs on the go at times. It's just to try to keep everything in place and keep up with that and stuff, and I need to take a little break on occasion. In 5 years, I'd love to be at a point where I was even just sustainable, where I could like be involved with music. It's been the dream of mine my whole life. There was a good 20 years or so well, more than that probably, when I did absolutely nothing, and it's just kind of sparked like lockdown, and from there just kind of spiraled. And now for the last year and a half or so, I've got involved in it. It's getting over your own kind of personal battles and your own kind of self-doubt and stuff like that, which NAS is a great thing for anyone, like any artist that wants to do it and get involved with NAS. It's the encouragement and everything you get from it is amazing. And like I say, 5 years or so, yeah, if I could be in a position where I'm getting decent streams, I've got people that know me for like good tunes, hopefully, and I can just live comfortably off and earning from music, that's where I'd love to be, kind of thing. I'm not going to say I'm going to be like the next Calvin Harris or any of that crazy stuff, but yeah, something like that would be pretty cool.
We'll go.
I was just saying they should call him Chameleon Harris.
It's like, yeah, Blue Scar, like Carol, he kind of has the jokes and stuff, and when he was on, he had like the pound shop Calvin Harris type thing, which was a pretty cool phrase. But yeah, I mean, like I say, he's obviously phenomenal. Like the thing is, even locally, other than like my friends and family and a few people at work and dotted here and there, I'm probably not even that well known locally, kind of thing. So it's like, if you can't even kind of crack that, then how can you crack the rest? And obviously hiding behind like a Cerulean Chameleon, like a cartoon kind of like profile picture and stuff, it's getting over those kind of like things that hold you back and so on as well. Get more involved with it. Like I've seen like obviously a couple of your own videos and stuff, and you just seem to like don't take yourself too seriously. You just go for it, and it's cool. It's I wish if I can get to that point as well, that would be amazing.
So you spoke a little bit about it, right? New Artist Spotlight and the community. So tell us a little bit about how you actually came across New Artist Spotlight and how your experience has been within it.
It was really random. It's like, obviously, it can be quite lonely when you first start out. And then you kind of start to either follow people, get chatting with people who are in the same kind of area as you, trying to do the same things. And I was on Twitter. I mean, it must have been, oh God, like say May, June, roughly. And I was on Twitter and I think someone had shared something about NAS. I was like, oh, sorry. I always say NAS. I don't know why. New Artist Spotlight, sorry. And then I was like, oh, what's this? So I started looking into it. I'd never used Discord before. So I was like, right, I had to get used to that. And it seemed, whoa, like what's going on? But yeah, I just got involved with it. I said, obviously, hello in the chat, but a lot of people seemed to kind of know one another already. And I was a bit shy and a bit standoffish. And then literally a few weeks later, out of nowhere, like my track Boom ended up in the top 20. I was like, how has that happened? Like, and that kind of was, I suppose, a little sign of encouragement and stuff like that, just to get more involved with it and then get to know more people. And I suppose it's just grown from there. It's like you kind of start off, you're in like tier 1, 2, 3, and then you want to get more involved, and just gradually I've built up to like tier 8 and stuff as well to try and get involved or listen to shows like the Odzo show or when the top 20 is on and stuff. And it's amazing. Like I say, any like new kind of indie artist out there, I would really, really encourage them to get involved with it, because it's helpful in so many ways, and there's just so many great people within, obviously yourselves included with that as well. So many great people within it.
So obviously, right now we're in Spotify Wrapped and Apple Music replay season, and so sounds like you just kind of found it within kind of like the last year or so, right? New Artist Spotlight. Do you have any feedback on just kind of how it's affected maybe like last year's numbers and streams and interactions and engagement compared to this year? Like, have you seen an increase? Does it look like it's affecting kind of your reach and growth or anything like that?
Yeah, definitely. Without doubt. I mean, I think this time last year, I actually released the song last September 2022. And I've actually removed it because, to be honest, it was pants. It was kind of like just my first kind of, I'll put something out there and I'll try it. And this time last year, I probably was in like single figures or double figures, like followers and stuff like that on like Instagram, for example. I was getting no streams. I hadn't even told like my friends or my family. My girlfriend was the only person that I'd actually told when I first started. And then I released the song the 30th of December last year. And then it was a couple of weeks later, it was actually me and my girlfriend's like 10th anniversary being together. And then I just thought, I'm just going to tell everyone. And then I did. And then obviously that helped. But then from starting with NAS, like at NAS, a few months later, that's when it kind of began to grow. Because obviously if you can, more artists, and there's so much unbelievable music within the Artist Spotlight as well. I was shocked at the amount of like great music that I'm listening to music within the Artist Spotlight that is better than what I'm hearing in the charts and stuff. Like I'm not just saying that. Like I genuinely, like there's so many great artists. And then obviously you get speaking to people within that, and then the streaming numbers going up, and then the followers are going up because everybody's so supportive. It's a great way to like support one another and stuff. And that's one thing, because I take a step back sometimes. I feel like, oh, maybe I'm not doing enough to support other people, but I try my best. But the support you get back and the love and everything that is involved with it is just, it's phenomenal. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we're going to play Don't Want You Today. Do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, well, it came out with a week and a bit ago. Yeah, 1st of December. I wanted a soulful vocal. I've got so many different ways of how I come up with ideas and songs. Sometimes the bass line pops in my mind, or I'll sit at the keyboard and I'll just come up with something. But I wanted a soulful vocal, and I got the vocal, and then I built the song around that. The meaning for me is kind of like I've described on my socials and stuff. I was just to go out every weekend, get like smashed basically, as possible, forget about it temporarily, about maybe things that are going on, and then it was just this vicious cycle like every single week. So that's kind of what it represents for me. I've had other people who have reached out to say that they have felt the same, which is pretty cool. But yeah, this is Don't Want You.
You know that I don't want you. You know that I am better off alone. You know that I don't need you. So just let me be on my own tonight. You know that I don't want you. You know that I am better off alone. You know that I don't need you. So just let me be on my own tonight.
Thank you, mate, for letting us play that. Really enjoyed it. Yeah, great tune. So everybody check that out. Actually, while I was listening to it, I was thinking I could hear myself or Origin over that. I could hear rappers on a lot of your tracks. I think it'd be really. I'm offering you right here, right now, the chance to have me on a feature for £1 million.
1 million, no worries. Like if I get to that 5-year point, then yeah, can I pay you up? Do you take Klarna or anything like that? Or
yeah, we can work that out. Yeah, we'll work that out. But yeah, have you ever thought about collaborating with rappers or getting other people? And how do you actually do your vocals? Is that samples or is it how do you do it?
Yeah, I feel like even today I've noticed that I've got like a couple of comments like on Instagram. It's like, who's that? Is that you singing and stuff? And I'm like, no, I wish. Like, I'm not very good at singing. I'd love to sing, but it's been like splice mainly, which you feel like a bit of a cheat, but it's one way to like get quick vocals. And there's been songs, sorry, my dog's saying hello. There's been songs that I've actually used a vocal just to get an idea and then build it. And like, for example, there's a couple of tunes that I have just now that I have got vocalists working on them. And that's where I want to go, get away from the splice side of things, because everything else within it is me. Obviously, you might use samples for like a kick or a snare and stuff like that. But everything else, all the other sounds, like the bass and stuff, I put together myself. And it's like, well, I can't sing, so what do I do? And then you go to trust the old splice and you get a vocal. But if any of you guys want to rap on a tune at some point in the future, I'd be delighted with that. Like I say, got another tune coming out in a few weeks. It's a vocalist. I can say it now because we're kind of like toying with the idea of putting out there. But it's Summer Lee Carlson, who is also part of New Artist Spotlight. She sent me over some vocals, and I just did what I felt. It's kind of like what other people say. I just do what I feel, kind of thing. So it's more of a kind of like rocky number, but not rocky as in the film, but like, you know what I mean. But yeah, just rap as well, and anything. I mean, just get me involved with anything. Like, seriously, I'd love to.
And you mentioned that you may have tried your hand at it before and maybe not been the greatest at it. I don't know if you want to give us like an example of something that you may have done in the past that you might feel like it's the shining star of that batch of work.
Definitely not. I mean, like when I tried it I was probably about 13, 14, and I got this little keyboard, a little Casio thing, and me and my friend decided that we were going to be a rap band called Ice Blitz. You had a lot of like Vanilla Ice and Ice Cube. Like, obviously, it was bad. And some of the stuff we were coming up with was terrible. And even though I've kind of tried to like write rhymes, like, for example, if I listen to any of your music, then it's just like, no thanks. So I'll spare myself the embarrassment, but thanks for the offer, man.
All right. It's a platform, I'm giving you the chance. You can take it. You can. All right. So you talked about, 5 years, 10 years, kind of just wanting to progress, right? But perfect world for you, what is the pinnacle? Like, what do you, in your wildest dreams, hope to achieve?
Oh man, I suppose like anybody, you would love, even if I could have like one song that just broke into the charts or something. I know, like, essentially the charts, as I say, like New Artist Spotlight, there are so many great artists and better songs actually within New Artist Spotlight than there is in like the top 10 of the UK charts or the US charts or that. But that's essentially to get as many people kind of listening to it as possible. I suppose you want to break into that or some sort of dance scene. I bought like a little set USB kind of decks, like Pioneer ones, like a few weeks ago, and I did kind of slightly DJ years back when I was about 18, 19 years old, and I loved it. And I just kind of gave it up. But now I'd love to get into that. And if I could get involved with DJing, put some mixes out there that include my own tracks, and hopefully that gets people listening. And I suppose just more exposure. But yeah, if you could get into the charts like somehow, that would be amazing. Just one song would be enough. That would be cool. But obviously, if more, that would be even cooler, kind of thing.
Kind of want to go for that one hit wonder, kind of like a Vanilla Ice.
Yes, yeah.
So you still got that ice association right there. All right.
Yeah,
so
as well, thinking about the live sets, like I could hear that as well. I could hear you doing like a DJ set of a full originals. Like, have you done any recently? Have you done any with Cerulean Chameleon live sets, or and if that is something that you said you'd love to do, are you sort of actively pursuing that in any way?
No, not really. I mean, I got it. I've tried to mess around. I bought some other tracks kind of off a Beatport and stuff just to kind of have it, like, try to mix essentially. But what I'll have to do, and the other people have actually asked me in the past, like, do you have like a club mix of that, or do you have this kind of mix? Because like typically you're kind of, when you're mixing a song, it starts off just with a beat and it makes it that bit easier kind of thing. So I don't have anything like that. What I might do in the future is I'm just so focused on kind of getting the song finished like as quickly as I can. It used to take me like 2 months, 3 months. Now I can probably do it within a week kind of thing, which is like unbelievable kind of progress. But maybe I'll start introducing like club mixes of my own songs and stuff like that. That way, if somebody else wants to hopefully use them, then they can feel free to. Or like I say, if I was to do my own mix kind of thing, then I could kind of use them within it. But I suppose if I was going to do anything like that, I know a few DJs locally. I'd maybe just ask if I could get involved with something with them. But yeah, that you're talking like a long way off kind of thing.
And so when you say talking a long way off, there's something that is probably we might prefer it to be a long way off, but it's not. It's kind of right here. It's kind of looming over the essence of this podcast, if you will. It's something. Some people kind of say it's a little bit dark and twisted, and based off some of the things you said earlier, I already kind of know what some of the questions are going to be, right? And it does center around questions too, and it seems to happen every week, right? I don't, Wilko, would you kind of like an every week type of thing?
Kind of something extremely worrying in the air, I think.
Oh man, yeah.
Have you any ideas what it might be?
I think so, but no, I don't want to get banned or anything like that. So
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get my answers in my head.
Yeah. Oh wait, I know what it is. It's the Noir Spotlight Quick Fire 5. Have you heard of it before?
Yeah, I've heard of it before. Yeah.
So I assume you already know the rules.
Yes, yeah, I believe so. 15 seconds. I get banned if I don't answer it, and there's another.
Wilko, what was it last time? It was getting banned and
Yeah, spending an eternity in hell, but also all sort of a trace of your current life will be extinguished.
Oh wow, man, that's serious. Like, yeah, that's the 5-year plan out the window if I don't get this right. So, yeah,
yeah, very true. So, question 1. What is your favourite song on New Artist Spotlight playlists?
Oh, Sacked on Championship Manager. It's got to be, man. It's got to be. What a tune. Yeah. When I heard that on Mr. Oslo show, I was blown away. Brilliant. Yeah.
Imagine losing on the first question. Question number 2. If you could have the singing voice of any other artist, dead or alive of all time, who would it be?
This is probably going to be a surprise, but George Michael. I love George Michael's voice. Great voice.
Question 3. What is your favourite place in America?
Probably what loads of people say, but New York. I've never been, but New York just seems cool. I want to go.
Okay. What is your personal favorite song of all time?
Oh man, that is difficult. Just Comfortably Numb, Pink Floyd. What a song. But there are so many.
And question 5 is, if you had to spend a week living in a cave with one other member of New Artist Spotlight, who would it be?
I would be at the service of me not to say him. Blue Scar said me, Carol, so yeah, it's got to be him, even though like a week's probably enough, but yeah.
I see what they're doing here. They're colluding.
I can't not say him. I mean, if I don't say him now, then, yeah.
And in impressive fashion, right? I think you've successfully endured the Quick Fire 5.
Yes, come on.
Well done, man. Yeah, well done.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, as someone who's successfully completed it, right, I feel like there's time and opportunity here for you to give a victory speech, right? to share any kind of thoughts or encouragement that you may have for the rest of the indie artist community, and especially people who have to come on the podcast and try their hand at a Quick Fire 5 and risk being banned and basically all traces of them ever existing being wiped away. Anything you'd like to share?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose don't worry about it too much. These guys are cool. They're here to help, so just try to get answers in your mind. Prepare beforehand. Just answer, whatever comes to, I mean, to be fair, there was probably a couple of answers that I would change, but just go for it. Don't be scared. You'll be fine. Don't get banned though, and don't end up in hell for eternity. New Artist Spotlight rules. Thank you. That's about as good as it gets.
Yeah, right, man. It's better to have regrets that you said the wrong answer than to dilly-dally and mess the whole thing up.
Yeah.
What answers would you choose? Or what would you switch?
Potentially the singer. I love George Michael, but I love The Weeknd as well. Like, amazing. Freddie Mercury, Jim Morrison, the song. God, I mean, there's just so many songs. The thing is, I kind of thought beforehand I'll have some answers prepared, and then I get asked, and it's like, boom, my mind went completely blank. So, yeah.
It messes with your senses.
Yeah, it makes you speak from the heart. You can't just...
Yeah. Acting on instinct, I suppose. Yeah. Just get it out there.
And your instinct was George Michael?
I might regret that, but I mean, I do love George Michael, to be fair.
So why a chameleon?
I think just kind of what I touched on earlier, because a chameleon kind of changes its colour and stuff like that and whatever, and just the meaning behind the word itself. It's just because I want to essentially do that. Like, as I said earlier, I'd love to get involved with different genres and stuff. So yeah, and because it just rhymes with cerulean, that was as simple as that. I tried to come up with this cool kind of, I thought this because of like something really like, I don't know, just someone cool basically, but it's because it rhymed essentially. So I'll let you on that little secret.
That's it. Yeah, that's my fault for asking the question you've already answered.
I mean, I feel like when I asked you the question about putting together some raps for us, I feel like you could have just said Cerulean Chameleon and dropped the mic right there. I mean, you already did the work. And not only does it rhyme, it's also alliteration, right? You got both of the C's are there. So, I mean, they both start with C, even though it's an S and the C sound, but still, on the paper, that's alliteration, right? I think you did a great job right there. Cheers. Right? And again, cerulean. You can't beat cerulean, in my opinion. I'm not wearing the right shade of blue today, but I mean, it's a beautiful shade.
It is. I mean, that looks like a lovely top.
Nice. Suits you as well.
Oh, that's nice. I need one of those.
Oh, he's wearing his own. Love it.
Very smart man. Very smart man. So tell us a little bit more, if you can, about what you have coming down the line for us. What can we expect?
Like I mentioned as well, the collaboration with Summer, that's coming out on the 29th of December. Seems a bit of a random time, but we just wanted to both do that. And then I'm working, I think I've got about 6 tracks of my own. I want to have another 4. And once I've hit 10, I want to essentially release an album. So I've got so many different ideas, so many tracks. I started another one today that I've kind of got in place, and I think, that's potentially going to be the next one, but that could change tomorrow. So it's just get another 4 songs in place. I don't know when the album would potentially be, maybe I don't know, a few months into next year. I don't have a kind of solid plan. It's just kind of get to that 1K followers, try to get one of my tracks on BBC Introducing, and then release a few more songs, and then release them as a whole kind of thing, as an album. I've other potential couple of remixes as well. There's like one or two people that I've reached out to ask if I would remix their tracks, which is cool. I mean, it's great just to think that people would think that you would do a good job, kind of thing. But yeah, and another one of my tracks, as I mentioned earlier, that will have a female vocalist on it too, which I'm really looking forward to. So I think that's about it. Yeah.
I think that's a good way to reach a new audience, man, especially with your skill set, is maybe reach out to artists who are in your area and have a bit of a decent following and see if you could remix their vocals. Because I know a guy down here who's a producer, and he gets rappers to send him their vocals and just turns them into like dance remixes. And it's allowed him to get quite a large audience quite quickly.
Mm-hmm. That's definitely, that would be a dream. Kind of, you look at people who've maybe got a few thousand more followers or something along those lines, and they do have like people that are genuinely kind of connecting with them because of their music. And then if you could remix something of theirs that their fans enjoy, then hopefully some of them kind of come and listen to you as well. That's the kind of thing that would be superb. Yeah.
We are kind of coming close to the end here, so I do want to give you the opportunity to let everybody know where they can find you, where they can listen to your music and connect.
Yeah, so I think I'm on just about everything. Instagram, I think Cerulean Chameleon, because someone had stolen this Cerulean Chameleon. I mean, who would have thought? Crazy. And TikTok, Cerulean Chameleon, like X these days, as it's called. What else? Threads, which I've never used since like the first couple of weeks. I think a lot of people have kind of given up on that. But Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, everywhere. It's pretty cool because if you, like you were mentioning about kind of the wording and stuff like that, if you search Cerulean Chameleon, in Google, then that comes up me first, which it's like you might have another name that would bring up other results, but it's pretty cool. So if you just Google Cerulean Chameleon, then you'll get me. Then there you go. I've got a link tree there and stuff as well. So check me out.
You've got a good name, man. Yeah. So, and also we've still got a couple of minutes. I wanted to ask, so I'm in a similar boat with the work, the juggling, everything. What's your sort of like best time? Where do you fit your hours in to do music?
So sometimes during the week, kind of in the evening, I'll maybe get like a couple of hours and a few hours in, depending how much I'm kind of involved. I might be up later than usual, or particularly like a Sunday, like I was saying earlier on, working on something today. Like if I'm not at the football or watching football on a Saturday, then maybe the Saturday afternoon. But Sundays is like, depending on whatever time I drag my ass out of bed, then from kind of that point until tea time, like 5, 6 o'clock, I will just be kind of involved as possible, kind of thing. Yeah,
that's awesome, man. Make sure you save a little bit of time for the missus as well.
Of course, that's why it can only be certain days during the week and so on, because I'll get told off.
10 years and she still wants you around. That's good.
Yeah, she's just waiting for that 5 years, like when, I do become the new Chameleon Harris or whatever that might be. And who knows, like, maybe she can give up work and whatever. But nah, come on. I mean, that would be a great, but
she's going to come back to this because we need to keep that in just in case. So he's promised his wife that in 5 years' time she'll be retired, living off his music fortune.
Yeah, she wishes me as well, but that would be unbelievable. She's been like, it's great to have someone like, whether it's a family member, partner, whatever it might be, like really supportive of what you do and stuff like that, and she has been. So
well, thank you for taking some time out of your day to spend with us in here and talk to us. Let's get to know you a little bit better. It's really been a great conversation, so thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you guys. It's been great speaking to you as well. Really appreciate you having me too. And big up New Artist Spotlight. Superb, like I say. And if I don't speak to you beforehand, have a great Christmas and Happy New Year and stuff as well.
You too.
Thank you. Same to you.
Thanks, man.
Great to have you on, and thank you to everybody who's listening as well, and the whole New Artist Spotlight community and everybody who does anything for it. And Yeah, it's all appreciated. We're all doing our best for each other, and it's a great place to be. And yeah, we love you all. Peace out.
Cheers, guys.
So,
Bye.
New artist spotlight.